The Merman and the Baker, Chapter 5, Into the Woods. Written and narrated by Eleanor Rose. If you'd like to receive these chapters a day early, or receive the script 2 days early, you can check out my Patreon at patreon.com/MiraWrites.
"What's on your mind, kid?"
Plagg asked. This land reef is quite dark, Adrien said, looking around in wonder.
"We're about to enter the Lost Sea. Be careful."
"Will it be okay going in as a set of 3? Nino cut in, struggling to walk over a tree root. "Even going in alone is dangerous. I can't imagine 2 other imaginations jumbled up with mine." "What is he talking about?" Adrien asked. Plagg yawned and jumped from Nino's shoulder to his.
"This neck of the woods has a specific name for a reason."
"And what's that?"
"The Lost Woods."
"No, I mean, what's the reason?"
"Well,"
Plagg began. Adrien had every intention of listening to him, but something in the lake ahead of them caught his eye. His mother, sunbathing, like she used to do in the euphotic zone, resting her head on a warmed rock while splashing her tail in the water instead of trailing it through the sand. He'd forgotten how beautiful she was. Adrien took off running, frightening Plagg to the point of digging claws into his shirt and skin as to not fall off.
"Wait, kid! Slow down! What's going on?"
Plagg said, shook by what was happening.
"My mom!"
he yelled.
"She's here!" "What are you talking about? I don't see anyone."
"In the lake."
"What lake?"
"Right in front of us."
"There's no lake there, kid."
The moment of doubt was enough to get him to slow down.
"What do you mean?"
Adrien asked.
"You don't see it?" "Welcome to the Lost Woods."
"I still don't know what that means."
"It's a place where we see what we desire most," Nino said,
huffing. He must have taken off after them, but wasn't terribly resilient on his feet like Adrien was.
"Think of a siren, but instead of a song about what you love, you get an illusion,"
Plagg added. Adrien blinked twice, suddenly losing focus of what he thought was his mother. Instead, he saw more of the dark, foreboding trees.
"A forest of land sirens, huh?"
he whispered.
"I'm happy you didn't run too far. Let's go back to the path."
The trio looked back toward whence they came, but only leaves greeted them.
"Hey,
Adrien began.
Is this another illusion, or is the path gone?" "Not an illusion,"
Plagg sighed.
"It's gone. If you leave a path, the forest will take it away."
"That's problematic."
"It's why we don't acknowledge our mommy issues."
"I don't have mommy issues," Adrien said, raising his hand to brush him off his shoulder.
"Don't. We need to stay connected."
"What, like hold hands?" Nino asked.
"Link arms at the very least."
Adrien turned to see Nino's eyes swell with tears.
"Dude," he whispered,
"I've always wanted to hold hands with someone."
"Humans and their touch starvation. Let's go."
"Are you sure we shouldn't try to find the path?" Adrien asked, securing Nino's hand in his.
"It's hopeless at this point. The best we can do is move forward and hope the woods are merciful.
They trudged on in silence, unsure where to go physically and conversationally. Adrien felt awful, of course, for getting them off path, but he kept having to turn away from the shadows and concentrate on the warmth of Nino's hand to not wander off path, be it from fear or passion from the wood's display. Eyes stared at him through leaves and bushes, setting him on edge. He may be a great hunter under the water, but land creatures terrified him. His mother used to tell stories of one that wears masks and whose eyes glow in the dark as it digs through your belongings to steal your treasure.
Adrien.
Nino's voice was barely a whisper, but it told him everything he needed to know. Danger. They were in danger. He slowly turned to see a pair of glowing yellow eyes and a red mane. Wolf. Adrien could tell it was the mythical creature by the way his hair stood on end alone. They were done for.
Foxes are shy creatures. Don't provoke it, and we might turn out all right, Nino said, tightening his grasp.
A fox? What was a fox? That was a wolf! It had to be! Mother told him about how they ate bad children who didn't clean up before bed and swam away without holding hands. Wait. Is that why it's here? Because he ran off without holding someone's hand? Oh. No. His childhood nightmares were true. Wolves exist, and not just in bedtime stories. Did he have a weapon? Nino had a satchel. Satchels aren't weapons. He should have taken the frying pan from the bakery. That looked like a sturdy weapon. He'd thought it was before Marinette taught him otherwise. What about a branch? Like a big stick? Yeah, a big stick. Look left? No, right. Is that? Yep, big stick. Could he grab it in time? The wolf snarled, startling Adrien into a rash decision. He leapt for the stick, a sturdy branch about his height and a wrapped palm's thickness, and pointed it at the beast. Get back! He yelled, dropping Nino's hand to guard him from a front. You misunderstand, the beast said, stepping forward. It talked? That was new. Before he could recover from the shock, the beast leapt, knocking him back as its paws hit his shoulders. He was pinned, his weapon of a stick clattering out of reach as his back hit the forest floor. Adrien! Nino yelled. This was it. This is how he went out. He could smell the beast's breath as its redwood-colored fur bristled. Drops of saliva plopped onto his face as he lay frozen. A fear response he had no choice but to submit to when something cool and solid hit his nose. A pendant, swinging from a chain. The beast was wearing a pendant. Strange. Without thinking, Adrien reached up and tore it off, hoping for a better look. He'd seen it before. He couldn't remember where, but he'd seen...
Oh, thank demigods!
A woman's voice gave him a bigger jump scare than the wolf did. He looked up to see a woman towering over him. Strange. Where did the wolf go? You need to hide, he began, before it comes back. He was so full of adrenaline, he forgot she couldn't hear him. The clasp got stuck on my fur, and I haven't been able to de-transform in days, the woman continued, leaning back to stretch. I thought my eyes were deceiving me when I saw you, but I am forever grateful to you for taking it off. Can I have it back? Adrien glanced over to Nino, confused. Where did the wolf go? Dude, Nino whispered, seemingly horrified. You're like a shapeshifter. I'd rather be a witch, she said, standing up and adjusting her cloth. Whoa. Nino took a step forward.
That cloak. Are you related to the baker?
Oh, this? She traced the fabric of the cloak and looked up. No, actually, I'm searching for him.
Are you, perchance, the Rena Rouge delivery?
You know of me? Her face lit up. Yeah, the name's Red, but my friends call me Alia.
How do you get the name Alia out of Red?
Birth name. Rena Rouge is my business, and I'm called Red because of this cloak. She gave it a twirl. Thanks for saving me, Alia said, extending her hand to Adrien, who was still sprawled on the forest floor. He took her hand and looked around. They were too relaxed. Where did the beast go?
So how'd you do it?
Nino asked. Transform? Easy. I have a miraculous.
You have one too?
2. What, do you have one as well?
Yeah, totally. Where's your Kwame?
Plag piped up, jumping down from a tree.
Where were you hiding?
Nino asked.
Self-preservation, always. Where's Trix?
It didn't look like Alia heard the question. Anyway, I'm totally late for my delivery. Are you guys headed out too?
Hey, girlie, Trix, where?
Plag flicked his tail in what could only be irritation. Oh, we got separated a ways back. He'll catch up.
Who is Trix?
Nino piped up. My Kwame. Love him. He's off on another delivery. Hey, can I have the necklace back? She held out her hand, opening and closing her palm like an impatient toddler. Adrien looked up, startled, before handing it over.
If that's a miraculous, shouldn't you be able to hear me?
Alia looked up in surprise. Yeah, Blondie. It's how we could talk when I was a fox. You have a miraculous. Didn't your Kwame tell you anything?
Plag is only interested in one thing. Cheese. Everything else isn't worth his time. Slander! Plag said, jumping onto his shoulder. Self-preservation is my second priority. So, why were you a fox? Nino asked.
My miraculous. It lets me shapeshift, and it's easier to make deliveries on 4 legs.
Deliveries?
Yeah. Mail, news, baked goods, you name it. I used to work for the baker, but ever since the Kumas started popping up,
The baker?
Plag's ears shot up.
You know him?
I used to. Some say he's changed, but I couldn't tell you. Alia shrugged and wrapped the pendant around her wrist. Are you guys lost or something? I can show you the way. The party looked at each other and nodded, more than eager for the help, but attempting not to show it. This beast lady was a blessing they didn't see coming. It made Adrien hesitate. Things were going well for them. Sure, there were hiccups here and there, but this was almost too idealistic.
Sure,
Adrien said, hesitation in his tone.
But only until we're out of the woods.
Deal, she said. Follow me. The party set off, keeping their eyes focused ahead of them to discern what was real and what were the whisperings of a temptatious woods. If they could trust this girl, they'd make it out all right. But what if this was the woods' way of trapping them forever? Adrien didn't know. He didn't know, but he placed one foot in front of the other. Seeing his mother reminded him of his true purpose, his long-standing goal from before he'd ever stepped foot on the surface. He'd survive these woods and make it back. He had to. There was too much at stake for the world and the sea. End of chapter. check back next Sunday for the next part. And if you're still listening, make sure to comment applesauce in the comments section. I'll catch you next time.